So all offseason, I've been hyping up the Eagles. They made key additions defensively. They went out and got Hassan Reddick. They went out and got Kaiser White and A.J. Brown. But overall, the biggest thing for the Eagles is simply Jalen Hurts. He has elevated his game this season. At the end of last season, the last 6 games, his deep ball, his overall accuracy, he was keeping turnovers down. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, and now's the time where everyone's really going to start to admit it because they went out there and they got A.J. Brown, but also they're hitting different receivers. The Lions played great. The running game has been good. I mean, Miles Sanders is finally healthy, looking explosive as ever. But before I get into the video, make sure you smash the like button. Bro, it makes a huge difference. It only takes a couple of seconds. I've been making Eagles videos the past, month or so, but they haven't been getting out there. So just, like I said, bro, let's get this out to more Eagles fans. Big win today. Subscribe if you're new. You can also find me over at Daily Eagles where I post Eagles only over there. So let's get right into the video. So honestly, the biggest takeaway from this game is probably Jalen Hurts, but also the defense was absolutely magnificent. I mean, the Vikings last season couldn't be stopped. Like, Justin Jefferson had 180 yards, a couple of touchdowns. The Vikings were moving the ball just down the Green Bay Packers' throat. The Packers were ninth in defense last season. They added 2 first-rounders to the defense, but they had no answer. But for the Eagles, just a completely different story. I mean, Kirk Cousins was under duress all night. Dalvin Cook was not there. Like, Dalvin Cook had 6 carries for 17 yards. Pretty crazy to think about. And, the biggest thing, honestly, Jalen Hurts, the defense, sure, it's got to be Darius Slay, right? I mean, he had 2 interceptions. Justin Jefferson just had no answer for him. It's clear that the Eagles coaching staff is absolutely elite. They understand that drop zone coverage just isn't going to beat the Vikings. I mean, this is Kevin O'Connell came over from the Los Angeles Rams. He knows how to utilize his players to the best of their ability. So that's why Jefferson got off to such a good start. But then the Eagles go out there and they say, we're not going to let Jefferson line up everywhere on just get favorable matchups. We're going to put Darius Slay on him. And Slay was so elite. And last season, he was one of the better corners in football. A lot of people don't understand that. Also, James Bradbury, I thought, did a good job. Avonte Maddox did a good, the overall secondary was great tonight. But Darius Slay just gave up nothing, and he was honestly he basically was running the routes. I mean, he just completely outsmarted Kirk Cousins a couple of times on this, and Jefferson looked frustrated. This game wasn't close, and the Vikings are a pretty good team. They're last season, I know they didn't make the playoffs or anything like that, but the Vikings are a solid team. They were in most of the games last season. They definitely improved the coaching staff, and Daniil Hunter's back and healthy. Darius Smith comes in. So this is a tough team. The people are going to say all season long that the Eagles have a soft schedule. I mean, come on, you beat the Lions, you beat the Vikings, and who they play next? The Commanders, bro. The Commanders and Jags at the top of my head. So people are going to say all season long that the Eagles, once again, are only going to make the playoffs because of their soft schedule. But at the same time, they're as good as any other team right now in the NFC. I mean, they're not as good as the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs, or I don't even know. I guess they're better than the Chargers. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty close, but I mean, they're 2-0, so sure, we'll say they're better, but the NFC is wide open right now. I mean, you've got the Buccaneers, you've got the Rams, the Packers. I mean, you're telling me right now that the Eagles aren't as good as those teams? I mean, last season, sure, the Eagles lost to the Bucs, and Jalen Hurts was terrible in that game, and they couldn't move the ball. It was just punt after punt. But it's just a much different type of Eagles team. I mean, A.J. Brown's out there, but also this is a similar story to Josh Allen. I mean, he went into his 3rd year and everyone doubted him, and legit, he played like an MVP. It's the same thing with Jalen Hurts. I mean, at halftime alone, Hurts was putting up numbers that I would have been satisfied with. If you told me at halftime that or at the end of the game, Hurts would have 251 yards, 50 rushing, and 3 touchdowns with 135.4 passing rating, I would have shook your hand. But he did that at halftime. He finished the game with 333 yards, a touchdown, an interception. He was sacked 3 times, of course. He also, on the ground, went out there and 11 for 57, 2 touchdowns, the longest touchdown of his career, rushing. It was an incredible game for Jalen Hurts, and this is only the beginning. I mean, I was reading articles this offseason about how if the Eagles got off to a slow start, they should use one of their 2 first-round picks on a quarterback. Like Jalen Hurts is the guy. He got the Eagles to the playoffs. I mean, Carson Wentz ended up getting traded over to my Colts, and what happens? Hurts takes over, gets them to the playoffs. They're very good in the second half. And sure, like they did beat up on bad teams, but they've got a lot of talent. Like the Eagles have always had a good roster. They're kind of waiting for that quarterback play. I mean, remember Nick Foles kind of stepped in a couple of years ago and led them through the playoffs, got a Super Bowl MVP. I mean, they just are need a quarterback, bro. Like they've got a defense. The pass rush was a concern last season for the Eagles, but like I said, they got Hassan Reddick, and overall they also drafted Jordan Davis, who's been big for them. I mean, Jordan Davis definitely. I would say he's definitely like week one, bro. He was crazy against the run. Like when Jordan Davis was off the field, they were giving up like 11 yards per carry. But honestly, as long as they can keep him conditioned, I mean, he's going to be one of the best players in the league. Like you could debate he's already a superstar in this league. I mean, that's how good he is. I mean, obviously he's not a 3-down player, so don't get me wrong. But he's not like Chris Jones or anything like that. But he's certainly a hell of a player, and that's why the Eagles went out and got him. But Miles Sanders, 17 for 80, did not score a touchdown, which isn't a surprise. I mean, he had one touchdown all of last season. He did have his touchdown last week, which was cool, but hopefully they can kind of get him in the red zone more. But, I mean, 4.7 yards per carry for Sanders, you'll take any single day of the week. And Boston Scott looked pretty good, 4 for 19. Kenneth Gainwell, I want to say, had a pretty good reception. Gainwell obviously was a rookie last year. He's pretty good. They've got some really good running backs, bro. I mean, I'd be confident with any three of them starting. That's how much love I have for the running backs. But honestly, Dallas Goedert, he had 5 receptions for 82 yards. I was facing Goddard and Sanders in fantasy, and I had Dalvin Cook and A.J. Brown going and Jalen Hurts. I unfortunately lost because Dalvin Cook did nothing. But it's okay. I'm definitely happy the Eagles won. I don't know, bro. My favorite, I think the Eagles. I love the Packers. Packers and Eagles are like my favorite teams in the NFC. I hope we can get a playoff matchup between these two teams, but NFC Championship though, not before, because I want to see these two teams meet in the NFC Championship, obviously. But Devontae Smith had 7 targets, caught all of them for 80 yards. I know there was talks last season about how he didn't even have a catch, and I mean Nick Sirianni came out and said straight up, like, look, we still believe in him. He's a Heisman winner, and he doesn't lie. I mean, 7 for 80, you'll take any single day of the week. Eventually, he's going to get in the end zone and catch a touchdown. But, I mean, fantasy or not, like you'll take that any day for a wide receiver too. And Quez Watkins caught 2 balls for 69 yards and a touchdown. Had that like monster kind of Hurts. I don't know the route. He ran like a nasty route. I forgot the name of the route, but he ended up kind of beating his man and just was wide open. Zach Pascal is like a damn good number 4 receiver. He had a big like first down in this game early on, but yeah, like 2 for 14, picked up a first down. He's a number 4 receiver, but like don't forget Dallas Goedert's here, so if you think about it, like Pascal's actually more of a 5th option because it goes. This is kind of tough. I guess it goes Brown, Smith, Goddard, Watkins, Pascal. In week 1, it was Brown, Goddard, Smith, but I mean normally like Smith is the number 2. There's no question. They drafted him early on in the first round for a reason, Heisman winner, and yeah, he looked great tonight. I mean the Vikings just had no chance. They were playing a lot of man coverage. The Vikings honestly just had a horrible scheme coming into this game. They weren't prepared. They were underprepared, but at the same time, you can't knock the Eagles for the Vikings not being prepared. Like the Eagles just completely dominated this game from start to finish. But yeah, it's 11:30 at night. It's been a long day. I think I've made like 6 videos today. I made a ton of videos and I had schoolwork and shit. I'm mad tired. But Eagles fans, love you guys. Fly, baby, fly. Let's go. Love this Eagles team. Love the fans. Hopefully I can get my name out there more for this fan base because I'm like I said, I make daily Eagles videos, but nobody ever watches them. I get like 10 views. But yeah, man, let's try to blow this one up, man. And 2-0. Got the Commanders next. It's going to be a great season for the Eagles. You're looking at 11, 12 wins, bro. They've got a squad.